If you don't take better care of my son, someone else will. That's how my mother-in-law greeted me at her house, whispering those words in my ear. She had invited me for a family dinner, smiling, sweet, the perfect mother-in-law act, and I fell for it completely. The food was delicious, the wine smooth, and dessert, served by a young woman she said was her friend's daughter. Straight hair, shy smile, tight dress, beautiful, young, and very available. My husband couldn't take his eyes off her. And my mother-in-law, she watched everything in silence, as if carefully analyzing the effect of the bait she had chosen herself. I shivered, but I still had no idea what was coming. Hi, my name is Vanessa. I'm 36 years old, and this is the story of how my husband's own mother destroyed our marriage and thought I'd stay silent. If you've ever felt someone smiling at you while sharpening the knife behind your back, comment. I felt that. From the very beginning, I knew something was off. The way Mrs. Harper, yes, that's how she insisted on being called, looked at me, wasn't the way a proud mother-in-law looks at her son's wife. It was as if every time my husband hugged me, she swallowed hard. As if every time he smiled at me, she felt like she was losing a piece of him. At first, I thought it was all in my head. After all, she was polite, always very kind. She asked how I was doing, complimented my looks, sent flowers on my birthday, but always with that tone, that overly sweet voice that hides poison between the lines. One evening during dinner, she said to me with a calm, serene smile, "It's so lovely to see my son finally settled." Though, of course, some women are just good at pretending they're good enough for a man like him. I smiled, swallowed hard. My husband laughed it off like it was some harmless joke. But in that moment, I knew. She didn't hate me openly. She undermined me, surgically, intelligently, strategically. Over time, she began planting little doubts. Phrases left in the air like, "He's been working so much. Hopefully he's really at the office, right?" Or, "You seem so tired lately, dear. Do you think he misses the vibrant woman he once knew?" Each of those comments pierced me like needles, not because I believed her, but because he never noticed, never corrected her. And that hurt. I started paying more attention, the way she touched his arm, the way she praised him, saying he was the best man she'd ever known, the way she referred to me as her, never by name. And while I worked to protect our marriage, she was far too busy digging its grave. It was a Friday night when the ground finally gave out beneath my feet. Adam came home late, hair messy, shirt wrinkled, and a sweet scent clinging to his skin, one that wasn't my perfume. When I asked how his day had been, he didn't even look me in the eyes. "Long day," he said, before vanishing into the bathroom like he was running away from me. But that scent on him, it wasn't fatigue, it was lies. 20 minutes later, the phone rang. It was her, Mrs. Harper, that sweet voice drenched in venom. "Hi, sweetheart, just checking if Adam got home safe. He left my place over an hour ago. Maybe traffic held him up." Traffic? At that hour? I almost laughed. But the laughter died in my throat. I hung up the phone with trembling hands, stood there, frozen, staring into nothing. A chill ran down my spine, not from fear, but from disgust, from knowing, from feeling deep in my gut that this wasn't a coincidence. That woman was marking her territory, using my husband as bait. That night, I lay next to a man who slept like nothing was wrong. While I stared at the ceiling, heart crushed in my chest, he breathed deeply, maybe dreaming of her. not me. In the days that followed, everything became a symptom. A shirt I'd never seen, a poorly told excuse, a deleted notification, a cold kiss, an absence disguised as routine. And her, always present, always smiling, always sweet, treating me like a foolish little girl as if saying, "Don't you see, dear? He's already mine." She didn't need to rip him away from me. She wanted me to hand him over myself. But she didn't count on one thing. On what awakens inside me when I'm betrayed. On the woman who rises when someone tries to steal what's mine. She wanted to play games with me. Now, she's going to play with fire. I didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't break a thing. I calculated. If she wanted to play games, I'd play better, but my cards would be soaked in truth. I spent the next few days smiling, cooking dinners, laughing at Adam's jokes, whispering sweet things in his ear before bed, and every word I said was a lie. Because the only thing I wanted was to destroy them both. I installed an app on his phone while he was in the shower. It took less than 2 minutes. The password was our dog's name. Typical. By the next day, I had everything. Messages, photos, voice notes. One of them still echoes in my head like a dirty slap. She has no idea I'm still wearing the ring just to keep up appearances. You want to know what that does to a woman? It doesn't break your heart. It skins your soul. The next morning, I sent a message to Mrs. Harper. "Tea this Friday? I really need to talk to someone I trust." She replied in seconds, with a heart emoji. That disgusting woman thought I was vulnerable, that I wanted to vent, maybe even admit my marriage was falling apart. What she didn't know was that she herself was the main course of our conversation. I spent the week cleaning the house, setting the table with white flowers, creating the perfect atmosphere, a mood of vulnerability. But inside, I had already rehearsed every word, every pause, every stare. She wasn't about to witness a breakdown. She was about to witness the performance of my life. She walked into my home like she owned it. High heels, hair tied back, perfume, way too strong, dressed in white, the color of peace, the color of hypocrisy. "Vanessa, darling, how lovely to see you, looking so alive," she said, with that same poisonous tone as always. She sat down across from me, like a woman who had already won the war, crossed her legs and started sipping the tea I had made for her. I smiled, but inside, I was lighting the fuse. "You look stronger. You must be moving on from those little things that happened." Little things. She knew I knew, and still, she provoked. A viper at her peak. I looked straight at her, steady, unblinking. "So, that's why you served me that girl dressed to kill. At dinner, like a bottle of wine for your little boy to taste?" She chuckled, as if she still had the upper hand. "Sweetheart, if you were enough, he wouldn't have tasted anything." My blood boiled, but I didn't lose my composure. "Harper, you wanted to destroy me, and for a while you did, but now I'm the one who's going to take away everything you tried so hard to protect." She laughed again, bitter. "Mug, what? You're going to threaten me? Expose me? You have no proof." I leaned in slowly, my eyes locked on hers. "I don't need proof, Harper, because I have something much more powerful." She fell silent. "I'm pregnant." Silence. The air disappeared from the room. She went pale, like she'd seen a ghost. "You... what?" "That's right." My voice was low, precise, deadly. "The son you thought was only yours, the man you taught how to cheat, the one you raised like a toy, like a weapon, is now a father. She tried to respond, opened her mouth, but no sound came out. And you know the best part? I moved closer. You'll never see this child. Not you, not him, ever. This child will grow far away from your poison, will grow with me, with dignity, with real love. She tried to stand, but stumbled. Adam has a right to know. He'll fight. Fight? Against what, Harper? Against a woman who stopped being a victim and became the judge of her own story? She cried. But it wasn't sadness. It was loss. It was panic. It was a realization that, for the first time, she didn't get to control the ending. I stood up slowly. You wanted to play with fire, Harper. Now watch the house you burned collapse, along with everything you thought you owned. And I walked out. But just before crossing the door, I turned around one last time. Oh, congratulations. You're going to be a grandma. Today, I carry no more anger. I carry only my son, with a real man by my side who loves us deeply. My ex-husband, my former mother-in-law, I don't know. I never saw them again, but they still begged to meet my son. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who promised to protect you, leave a red heart in the comments. And if this story touched you, share it with women who